And we're live. All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gary Woodall. I'm a meteorologist with the National Weather Service here in Memphis. Appreciate you all joining us this afternoon for this Google Hangout on our upcoming winter weather event. Apologize for the slight technical difficulties we had there, a little bit late getting on, but glad you're able to join us, and hopefully we can provide you with some good information. We're going to start out with just a short briefing on the hazards and the conditions that we're going to expect over the next day to day and a half or so. And then after that, we'll be able to take some comments that you would tweet to us or get to us, comments or questions, and we'll answer those through the rest of the Hangout session. So stand by. We'll go ahead and start up the briefing and talk about what we will be expecting over, in particular, Friday and in the early Friday evening, but then also some of the lingering effects we'll be seeing as we go through the weekend. Okay, so this is our winter weather briefing for today, of course, January 21st, and this is our afternoon briefing. We want to remind you again to ask any questions that you might have. You can tweet us at NWS Memphis, or you can ask in the comments section of the NWS Memphis Facebook page, or the comments section of the YouTube page where this is being streamed. Partners, you all were given an email address that you can use in your invitation email as well. So the headlines, the highlights of what we're going to be expecting. Again, this is going to be a potentially high-impact winter storm that we'll see on Friday. We'll see significant snow accumulations across much of the Mid-South, strong and gusty winds affecting much of the area as well. Also very cold temperatures as we go into Friday night, Saturday, and then especially on Saturday night. Here's a look as of early afternoon Thursday of the warnings and the watches that are in effect for Friday. The pink areas that you see, the purplish pink areas, are where we have winter storm warnings in effect. So essentially all of West Tennessee, eastern Arkansas, the Missouri Boot Heel, and a good portion of northern and northwestern Mississippi. Winter storm watches in effect for northeastern Mississippi, including the Tupelo area. The timing for this event, we'll see rain developing across much of the area or continuing across the area through the evening hours. Then we'll start to see a transition first over eastern Arkansas and the Missouri Boot Heel, possibly in the late night hours tonight after midnight. Transition from rain to freezing rain, and then to sleet, and then eventually into snow. We'll see in the Memphis area and for locations east of the Mississippi River, the transition a little bit later, maybe a little bit later up in northern Tennessee, northwestern Tennessee, Dyersburg up towards Paris. And then for Memphis, Jackson, and then northern Mississippi, we'll see those western areas near the river, the transition start to occur during the pre-dawn hours Friday morning, maybe 4 or 5 a.m., somewhere in that range. Then the winter precipitation gradually moving eastward across the area, again affecting a large portion of the Mid-South through the day tomorrow, and then moving off to the east as we get into the late afternoon or evening hours on Friday. Now, over most of the Mid-South, this will be a pretty quick transition from rain through the freezing and frozen to the snow. However, up in northeastern Arkansas, there is a little bit of a concern about maybe a longer period of sleet and freezing rain up in that area, maybe a little bit slower transition. So that'll be something you folks up in Jonesboro, Paragould, Piggott, up in that area may need to watch out for. As far as the accumulations, the heaviest snow will occur basically close to the Mississippi River and then on up into northwestern Tennessee. We may see as much as 8 inches or more up in the Paris area, 6 to 8 inches down through Jackson, Covington, 4 to 6 inches down into the Memphis, Tunica areas, and then lighter amounts as we get to the south and east and to the north and west of that main band. Tupelo, Aberdeen, perhaps just 1 to 2 inches, and perhaps 2 to 4 inches again up in Jonesboro, Walnut Ridge, up in those portions of northeastern Arkansas. As this event evolves, we're expecting a band of heavy snow to develop somewhere across the Mid-South. And exactly where that band sets up is going to determine who gets the heaviest of the snowfall. In addition to the heavy snow, we're going to have very strong winds on Friday. The map here shows the highest wind gusts that we're expecting during the day. And the green areas, so far west Tennessee, the Boot Heel, eastern Arkansas, the Delta, and northwest Mississippi may see wind gusts in excess of 35 miles an hour tomorrow, perhaps even in excess of 40 miles an hour. Sustained winds in that area, perhaps in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range. The winds will gradually lessen as we move further to the east and south and towards middle Tennessee, towards the Tennessee River, and northeastern Mississippi, but still some fairly strong winds will be expected during the day. Those strong winds will combine with the heavy snow to produce very hazardous traveling conditions across the area on Friday. Once the precipitation ends, we'll have very cold air settling in, cold temperatures across the area. For Friday night and into early Saturday, the gusty winds will continue though, and that's going to produce very cold wind chills across the region, well down into the teens, maybe approaching single digits up in the Boot Heel, northwestern Tennessee, and wind chills even down into the teens, well down into Oxford, Tupelo, portions of northern Mississippi. And these could lead to, again, dangerous conditions with the cold temperatures and the very cold wind chills. Some other hazards and impacts that we're going to be expecting. Because the air will have a fairly high moisture content, the snow, when it falls, is going to be very heavy, wet snow, a lot of moisture in it, and that could lead to some caking of the snow on tree limbs, power lines, and the like. Now, the strong winds will counteract that a little bit, but with the potential for some caking of the snow and the very strong winds themselves, we will see the potential for some down tree limbs, some down power lines, and some power outages across the Mid-South. Again, after the precipitation ends, we'll see cold temperatures on Friday night, lows down into the low to mid-20s across much of the Mid-South, with those gusty winds continuing and those cold wind chills. We'll stay below freezing through Saturday, but we may see some sun on Saturday. And if we do, that will help the melting process along just a little bit. However, we're expecting the coldest temperatures on Saturday night and into early Sunday morning, teens to lower 20s across much of the area. So that will be dangerous in itself. Also, if we do get some melting on Saturday afternoon, we'll see some refreezing Saturday night and may have at least some patches of black ice early Sunday morning. Then finally, mid-morning Sunday, we'll finally get back up above freezing. So the bottom line, again, a potentially significant winter storm affecting us primarily on Friday. Localized amounts in excess of 8 inches, maybe up to 10 inches in the heaviest areas of that heavy snow band, wherever it sets up. With the heavy snow and the gusty winds, could lead to near blizzard-like conditions for at least portions of the Mid-South, and travel is going to be very difficult to impossible. If you can stay in tomorrow, if you don't have to be out on the roads, don't. Spend it at home, stay in a safe location. Our forecast confidence is very high on the potential of winter weather occurring in the area. Our confidence is moderate to high on the exact location of that heavy snow band. Again, it looks now, all indications are near the Mississippi River, northwest Mississippi, eastern Arkansas, up into northwestern Tennessee. Looks to be the prime area. This is a very dynamic situation, though. It's a very vigorous storm system that's moving through. So continue to monitor for updates. Monitor our website for our updated graphics, changes to the forecast, updates to the forecast. We'll do recorded multimedia briefings as well. So continue to keep in tune with the weather developments for any changes that will be coming about. And that wraps up the briefing. So we'll now bring in my counterpart, or my colleague, John Moore, another meteorologist here at the National Weather Service in Memphis. And we will switch back to where you can see us. And then we will take any questions that you all might have for us.
Okay. We've already received a few questions on Twitter. I'm just going to go through a few of them. So continue to ask the questions as you think of them. I'm going to pull up a few questions right here and start from the time that we received them. All right, from Extreme Team 16, he's asking, could the edge of Dyer County see 6 to 8 inches, and has it moved westward since this morning?
The guidance has been pretty consistent as far as that general area, and Extreme, certainly as far as Dyer County is concerned, y'all could be on the western edge or the northwestern portion of that heavy snow band, so it's something you'll need to watch out for. It's certainly not out of the question that y'all could get that kind of snow accumulation up in Dyer County.
Okay, the next question, when will it start in Memphis?
I'll let you take that one, John.
Right now, we're expecting around a mid to late morning transition from rain. It'll be a brief transition from rain, quickly to sleet, and then snowfall thereafter in Memphis. So in the morning, anywhere between about 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. around that time frame. So be prepared.
Right around morning commute time for those that have to go to work tomorrow.
So if you have to get out, it's probably best to get out early in the morning because conditions will worsen as the day goes on in the Memphis metro area. All right. Another question, will there be a blizzard warning?
As of now, we're not going to go with a blizzard warning. There are specific criteria as far as wind speed. It really doesn't have anything to do with how much snow falls, but it's the snow and the strong winds producing reduced visibilities in the area. And right now, we're thinking that we're going to come up a little bit short of the official blizzard criteria, but that's not to minimize the effects. This is going to be a significant winter storm when it comes through, and we need to take it seriously.
Right. To follow up on that question, I have a question from Todd Stanfield. He wants to know what conditions define a blizzard warning. And it's more of a prolonged period of time. I don't think we'll have those conditions for, I think it's 3 or 4 hours we need to issue.
Yes, so winds, I believe it's greater than 20 or 25 miles an hour and quarter-mile visibility. Really? I believe those are the criteria. And so again, we may flirt with it, we may briefly touch it, but the time constraint is going to be the limiting factor on that for tomorrow.
So right now, Jeremy, we're going near blizzard conditions likely throughout portions of the Mid-South. So we're using that wording. All right, more questions. All right, do you buy the HER change over time? If you're not aware, HR is a rapid refresh, is a really good model that we use. And have you looked at it recently? Maybe a forecast you could better answer that. We've been doing decision support. We haven't looked at the recent HER.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of briefings and stuff, but certainly the HER is it's a good model to use because it's higher resolution. It can pick up on some of the smaller scale processes that take place in the atmosphere, and so we will utilize it not only for winter weather forecasting but for severe storm forecasting as well. But certainly with all the models, there are going to be some different changes from run to run and agreement or disagreement amongst the models. But most of what we're seeing now again is pointing to again a pretty significant event for tomorrow.
Okay. Question from Sean Burkhart. Could Paris, Tennessee see more than 12 inches? That is possible. I'm not going to say you will, but it's possible. It's depending on where the heaviest snow band sets up. You can see localized amounts. 12 is kind of high, but up to 10 inches, definitely you can see up to 10 inches of snow based on where those snow bands set up tomorrow. All right. Is Tupelo going to get much? From Lee J. Caps. Right now, we're expecting impacts at Tupelo to not be that great. Right now, we're expecting 1 to 2 inches localized, maybe up to 4 inches. But you'll see a lot of rainfall tomorrow. The temperatures won't get below freezing until most of the rain is gone. Yeah,
down in Tupelo, you're all going to stay a little bit warmer than, say, here in Memphis or north and west from here. And all the indications are that snow band will stay probably to your west and to your north. So that should keep you out of the brunt of the really heavy snowfall. At least that's the way things are looking now.
Here's one from one of our EMA partners at Henry County. He wants to know how confident are we in 8 to 10 inches for Henry County, and what time would be the heaviest amount of snow?
Yeah, I would say, Ron, that we're probably moderately confident as far as the snow amount, that specific amount up in Henry County. Again, it's really going to depend on just where that heavy snowfall band sets up. But y'all will certainly have the temperatures to support it, and if that band sets up, then you could certainly see up in that 8 to 10 inch range. As far as time frame for you all, of course, you'll be one of the last ones in our area to see the transition. So probably I would think late morning to mid-evening would be your prime window for seeing the snowfall there in Henry County.
Okay, here's a question from another one of our partners, John Carville. He wants to know what time they expect the high winds in Jonesboro tomorrow.
Yeah, John, we'll probably see the winds actually picking up as overnight tonight. As this storm system moves in, we're going to get a fairly significant low pressure system form at the surface. And as that develops, we'll see the winds picking up. So overnight tonight, I think we'll see the winds picking up and then really peaking early in the day and then through the day on Friday.
All right. From Shelby County Office of Emergency Preparedness, where's Memphis? Shelby County Office of Emergency Preparedness wants to know when our next briefing will occur. After this, we'll get out another video briefing in the next hour or so. So be on the lookout for that. We'll do a recorded video briefing like we usually do. And this was just a supplemental briefing. So in the next hour or so, our next briefing will come out. It'll pretty much have the same information that we've just provided to you, just in the video format that you can save and play back later.
Yeah, we'll, and once we do post that, we'll send out the email to all of our partners notifying you of the briefing. We'll also put it on Facebook and Twitter as well for everybody to be able to see it.
All right, a few more questions and we're going to end it. Okay, liquid to snow ratio projection. It's
yeah, in this case, it's going to be pretty low because, again, the temperatures are going to be upper 20s, not that far from freezing. And generally, the closer we are to freezing, the more liquid or moisture content there is in the snow. And as a result, the lower the ratio. So I would think we would probably be on the low side of 10 to 1, which is the standard that we use for snow to liquid, maybe 8 to 1 or 9 to 1, somewhere in that range.
We're going to take about 3 more questions. Right now we have Todd Stanfield. He wants to know, how likely is it that we will have thunder snow tomorrow, and are we as pumped as Jim Cantori?
I don't know if anybody can be as pumped as Mr. Cantori is about thunder snow. It's not out of the question, though. Again, this is a very vigorous storm system that's going to be moving through, and so there will be the potential for, at the height of it, and especially in that heavy snow band wherever it forms, to perhaps get a lightning strike or two.
All right. Likelihood of power outages from Jared Claiborne.
Well, it's something we're going to have to watch closely as this event unfolds. Again, the snow is going to be sort of heavy and wet. Again, a lot of moisture content to it, so it will have the potential to be caking on the lines and the tree limbs and whatnot. And even without that, since we are going to have such strong winds, again, gusts maybe up in the 40-mile-an-hour range, that in itself could be strong enough to break some tree limbs and have them come down across the power lines. So there will be the potential for power outages. And one other item that we are going to have to watch out for is if folks are out driving around tomorrow, losing control of their vehicles and crashing into the power poles as well. So we definitely are going to have to be on the lookout for power outages tomorrow.
One great quote we came up in here today earlier was, when you're driving tomorrow in the terrible conditions, is use your head, not your brakes, because you're slamming on brakes, it can turn out pretty terrible for you. So remember, use your head, not your brakes if you're driving.
Yes, if you remember those safety tips, accelerate very slowly, turn gradually, brake slowly and gradually as well. Don't do anything abruptly. That'll get you into trouble.
All right. Question from Ryan Vaughn. It's like, he says, can you just make it stop? You have that button right.
Ryan, unfortunately, is my former boss in Fort Worth used to say, and as I repeat often, we're not in production, we're only in marketing. So all we do is try to anticipate what's coming and get everybody ready for it.
All right. Here's our last question we're going to take, and it's about when will the road conditions improve? As of right now, we're going to have an extended period of below freezing temperatures. So Saturday morning is still going to be ice and snow along the road, so road conditions will be pretty bad, especially the far northern counties of our CWA. Down in North Mississippi, they may improve a little bit. It'll be pretty sunny on Saturday, and we'll see significant snow melt, even though we'll be below freezing. It's going to be a lot of radiational heat because of full sun. But we'll be back above freezing again on Sunday, and we should see good conditions again by Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, actually.
And Saturday night might have to be careful for that with refreezing.
Yeah, refreezing Saturday. So we'll be above freezing area-wide about Sunday afternoon, so maybe road conditions haven't been improved by then. But from tonight all the way through Saturday night, especially the northern portions of our CWA, it's going to be a bad driving conditions. So you want to make sure you keep that in mind if you have anywhere to go.
Absolutely.
And remember to follow us on, if you don't follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. And like we said before, we'll have another briefing out soon. So we've enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it also.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And really the message is to be ready for what's coming and stay safe. And if we keep up with what's going on and don't put ourselves in unnecessarily risky situations, we'll all come out fine on the other side. So thanks again. Keep up with the weather developments and keep safe.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.